Hello everyone, myself Bala. Today, this small session, we see about how to attach and mount an additional EBS volume to an Amazon Linux 2 AMI. Why I mentioned over here Amazon Linux 2? If you think about, originally Linux is developed by Red Hat Enterprise, but today it is available in various distributions like Ubuntu, SUSE, Fedora, CentOS, Kali, etc. Let us switch to AWS console and see which all are the distributions we can work with and how. So this is the AWS console. I already logged in. Uh, Let me go over here instances and try launching an instance. It's having some issue. One quick second. So running instances, launch instance. You see over here Amazon Linux 2 AMI. This is the latest version of Linux from Amazon. Linux AMI is the older version of Linux from Amazon. Similarly, you see Red Hat Enterprise Linux, SUSE, Ubuntu. What about other distributions like CentOS? You don't see over here. Even Kali, you don't see over here. Again, another flavor like CentOS, you don't see over here, right? But what is the situation like if you need to work with them? Don't worry. You come over here and search with CentOS. It will give options like AWS Marketplace. So if any of the image is not available, you may get it from AWS Marketplace. You see over here 326 results displayed over here. You go and get the one you like. Okay, so let us switch back to PPT. So before setting up additional EBS volumes to an EC2 instance, let us see little bit background about what's the need to attach and mount additional EBS volumes in real time. If you are really working as a big data professional, you will get a chance to work with terabytes, petabytes, and even exabytes of data for your analytics. For storing and processing these big amounts of data in real time, you will be really working with various big data tools and services, including Spark, Presto, Flink, Hive, MongoDB, HBase, DynamoDB, EMR, Redshift, MSK, IoT streaming. List is really very big. But these are the some tools I mentioned over here. And in order to work with these tools, you can host them in on-premises or virtual machines or even in various cloud providers like AWS, Azure, Alibaba, OpenShift, Google Cloud Platform, or even managed services like AWS EMR, AWS MSK, Azure, Databricks, etc. Let us assume you are working with these tools by hosting in AWS EC2. That is where you get a chance to get attached EBS volumes. So, and those volumes may get filled up very quickly. That is where you will need to attach an additional EBS volumes. So that is where we'll try to see here how to mount and attach an additional EBS volume. So before starting up, let us see agenda for today's session. Attach an EBS volume, mount an EBS volume. Once you mount, the fact is it may not work when you reboot your EC2 instance. In order to avoid that issue, you have to perform additional steps to mount that EBS volume permanently. So as you know, this is just demo. To avoid unnecessary charges, you will unmount that EBS volume and delete. Okay. So before creating an EBS volume, we switch back to EC2 instance console and see like. So currently you are in EC2 instance. So once you go over here running instances, this is the EC2 instance. Guys, so I already created an EC2 instance. The reason I am assuming you know how to create an EC2 instance in AWS console. As you know, in this session, I am concentrating on attaching EBS volume. I am not going to explain how to create an EC2 instance. If you need to know about how to create an EC2 instance, you may refer other videos. But at this time, we try to see how to attach an EBS volume. As you know, like in order to get connected EC2 instance in Windows, you may use PuTTY. Okay, so let me go over here PuTTY and try to connect this EC2 instance. So in order to get connected, I will be using IPv4 public IP address. So here is where 54.172.190.74. This is the IP address. I have to copy and paste it over here. Again, I am not explaining how to use PuTTY to get connected EC2 instance. If you needed these details, you may refer other videos. So let me connect it to this EC2 instance. It's successfully connected. So in order to create an EBS volume, what is the situation? Existing volumes got filled up and there is no space, right? So in order to find out what are the volumes attached to this EC2 instance and what is the free space availability. In order to find these metrics, you may use very simple commands like lsblk or dfh. So to find block devices for the existing instances, you will be using lsblk, and existing block devices free space availability you have to check means you will use dfh, and meanwhile you have to find the file system of the EBS volumes means you will be using dfht. With the help of these three commands, you will find metrics about the existing EBS volumes. Let me go back over here and see lsblk. If I give, see, this is the existing volume attached to this EC2 instance of size 8 gigabytes. Let me go to EC2 instance and see. So for this EC2 instance, if you come over here and see block devices, you will see dev xvda1. This is the block device attached over here, and this is the one you are seeing over here. Okay, you want to see size of this disk or EBS volume. You go over here and open. You see 8 GB available. That is the one exactly you are seeing over here. So if you want to find out the free space of this device, you will use dfh. If you go over here, you see this is the device of size 8 GB. In that 1.1 GB used and 7 GB of space available. So 14% of data is used. Remember, let us assume this space reaching more than 95% or hitting 100%. That is where you may get a chance to add additional EBS volumes. So that is what we are seeing, how to create, attach and mount additional EBS volume to this EC2 instance. Go over here and create. I am in volumes page. So you see here I am in volumes screen. Create volume and give size of your choice. So as this is demo, I'm just giving 5 GB, and you have to choose over here availability zone. This is very important. Remember, EC2 instance is in ES East 1A. So in order to get attached EBS volume to this EC2 instance, you have to choose the same availability zone. Idea is very simple. Let us suppose your computer is in one location. You are trying to attach disk in another location. It's not possible, right? Even by chance you will be able to attach means you will get performance issues. So it's better to have computer and disk in the same space, same rack. So that is the reason. Make sure availability zone for your EC2 instance as well as the volume you are creating will be in the same availability zone. Encryption, if you want, you may select, but at this time I am not choosing. I am clicking on create volume. Once you create volume, the initial state of that volume would be available. Okay, so you are not done with. Once you are done with the creation, you have to attach it to the EC2 instance. So again, you have to go over here, actions, attach volume. So come over here. If you select EC2 Web 1, if you go over here, you see EC2 Web 1. Exactly, that is the instance you are seeing over here. Remember, if you haven't chosen the same availability zone, you may not be able to see this EC2 instance. So make sure both of them in the same availability zone, then only you will be able to see the EC2 instance. So I'm choosing this one. It's taking dev SDF. Let me attach. As soon as I attach, you see the state of this EBS volume changed to in use. Okay, so let me go back to Putty and see the attached EBS volume. So again with the help of simple command ls blk. See, successfully is it over here with 5 gigabytes. Let me go df and h. Okay, so only one disk available, the attached one, you don't see over here. So in order to get it displayed over here, you have to mount. So that is where we are seeing how to mount. So in order to mount the additional EBS volume, you have to do some simple commands, some simple steps you need to perform. Before going there, as soon as you come over here and give lsblk, you are seeing over here, right? Sometimes what happens, it may take couple of seconds. So as soon as you attach and come over here and apply the command lsblk, you may not see this disk. The reason, it may take couple of seconds. So by chance, if you don't see this disk over here, try executing the same command after couple of seconds, then you will be able to see. Okay, now let us mount that volume to this EC2 instance. In order to mount volume, you have to find out the file system for the volume. So in order to find the file system, you will use again dfht, dfh capital T. If you see, this is the file system type. So XFS. There are various file systems available. XFS, ext4, kind of. Okay. So, but in my scenario, I'm going to use XFS. So this is a file system I'm going to use. But in case if you want to use ext4, you can use it. But this is the option you will be using. This is the command you will be using for ext4. Remember another thing. When you execute these commands, you may face issues like not installed or something. So that time you may use this command to install XFS tools. Okay, sudo m install XFS procs. If you use this command, you will be able to perform these commands. So let me go ahead and execute this command. Make file system. -t is for like file system type. So file system type XFS, and what is the block device? Dev, and you see over here xvdf. Xvdf, this is the device we attached. So xvdf. Okay. So second, something wrong. mkfs t xfs. XFS is the file system type. Dev xvdf. Okay, it's done successfully. Oh, sorry, permission denied. You may switch to super user. Okay, so again try performing the same command. mkfs file system type xfs dev xvdf. Okay, it's done successfully. You are not done with. Next step is you have to create one directory and mount this volume to the directory. So let us create one directory mkdir my volume. Whatever the name you feel, you can give it, but in this scenario I am giving my volume. Okay, is successfully created. So in order to mount this device, to your volume. Again, this is the command you have to perform. So mount, what is the block device? Dev xvdf my volume. Okay, it's done successfully. Now let us see whether it's attached successfully. So df h, if you go over here, see, it's successfully attached. My volume of disk space 5 gigabytes. If you go top, when you did this dfht, you don't see that volume over here, right? That volume over here. But once you perform this mount command, you're able to see successfully. Okay. So again, when you reboot your EC2 instance, this one may not work. So in order to mount permanently and even after your EC2 instance reboot, it needs to work, means you have to perform two additional steps. So in order to mount permanently, you have to find out the disk attributes. Okay, so in order to see device attributes, you will try to perform this command blkid. It will give us the attributes of the block devices. So I think this is the one we were attached. So let us copy this attribute and paste it over here in Notepad. Now let us go your favorite editor, vi etc fs tab. When you come over here, this is the one, root volume is already attached. So for the additional volume, you have to add additional line. So that is what, you go insert mode and come over here, go next line, paste it. So once you paste, this is the uuid property attribute. You just use the above parameters, whatever you see with root volume. So slash xfs is the file system, defaults faults defaults, can we no time 1 1. Okay, make sure everything is good as it displayed for the root volume. So let me save and exit. Okay, to make sure it's saved properly, let us go back and see. Okay, it's successfully saved. Okay, now you are done with. So even after rebooting, your EC2 instance works. I'm sorry, one small step you have to perform. Mount A. Sorry, mount A. Once you are done with this step, you are successfully done with. It seems some error. Let me see. Uh, it's good now. So earlier it seems something wrong. Let me go and show you. So earlier it seems some additional space was given. That is what caused the problem. Now it seems good. So this is how you will attach and mount additional volumes. Okay. So as this is just demo, once you are done with your work, it's better to unmount, detach and delete additional volume to avoid unnecessary charges. So let me unmount the volume. So in order to do unmount, you will use unmount my volume command. Let me go ahead, you mount slash my volume. This is the volume name I have given. In your case, whatever the volume name you have given, you have to give it over here. Mount my volume is unmounted successfully. Let us go and see here df h. Okay, you don't see over here that volume, but still you will be able to see lsblk. Okay, still you see the volume over here. In order to get it successfully detached, you have to do come over here and refresh it over. Refresh. When you refresh, here you see this is the additional volume. So go over additional volume. Okay, and access detach, and yes, detach. Now if we go and perform the same command again, okay, is successfully detached. So still detaching over here. Refresh, it went back to available status. Okay, so delete the volume. Done. Thank you. I hope this session is helpful. Have a good day.